What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, it's daily fantasy quickie once again, and today was kind of a quiet day for fantasy, I guess. Not much games. Well, nothing really exciting that happened or disappointing. Too disappointing, I guess. But let's talk about some of them. Some of the news that came out, particularly with the injuries and some returning players. Komish,
Yes.
Trae Young. Let's start with Trae Young.
Trae Young. Okay.
Is he a drop? Well, I've seen some leagues who've dropped Trae Young, but these are leagues wherein the semis is ongoing, so it's not really
a hard decision.
Right? Yeah, it's not going to be a hard decision because most probably next week he'll be out, and even if he comes back next week, maybe that manager is trying to survive. I have Trae Young in our FBW league. Unfortunately, in that team, I also have LeBron. And I also have KPJ.
Yeah.
So it's not a good set. I'm not lucky in that league, but I'm still within the playoffs, I guess. So what's the diagnosis for Trae Young and what to do with Trae Young?
It's a grade 2 sprain. Well, we don't know what that means, but it's not grade 1. So as our friends say, it's grade 2, so it should be harder. At least it's not grade 3 or 4. But I made the research and they said, well, when you research, it's really worse. It says 2 to 4 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks. There's that range.
Yep.
So Trae Young is a Wolverine, as we know. He heals fast, but there's a chance we might not see him until probably the last week of the regular season.
And the research is 4 to 6 weeks probably of rest, of not doing much. These are these are professional players and they get treatment every day. So that it could be less, but at the same time we want to manage the expectations that he might be out.
It's exactly 3 weeks left, right? So next week is week
18. Yes, next week
18.
is
18, 19, 20. So the chances he comes back, in my opinion, is very, very,
I think
very
the best
small.
case scenario, I guess, is week 19. That's the best case scenario. Well, middle of week 20, I guess. 2 weeks.
If he gets back week 19, I'll be happy. And I'll really, salute him, whatever he is doing that makes him heal so fast. Because it didn't look good. It didn't look good. And a normal sprain like John Collins' sprain already sidelined him for more than a week.
Yep.
A week and a half. So this one would probably be 2.5 to 3 weeks, and that's the end of the season. So for me, a lot of people asked me, "Will you drop?" I said yes.
A lot.
I said yes. I mean, if you have an IL,
even
of course.
Me,
right?
I haven't dropped Trae Young yet. So
I mean, if you have LeBron, or if you have a choice, if you have a choice, I'll keep LeBron over Trae Young.
Yeah, I've kept
point.
LeBron. Most likely, I'll drop Trae Young, but we'll see. I haven't seen anyone I can pick up. I picked up Goodwin.
Brandon
today.
Goodwin, yes.
I think I picked up Kem Birch in that league. So
just
to prepare for next week. The team I have, there's not too bad. I have Drew. I have Kemba. Kemba played well today. I have Drummond as well in the same team. So somehow it's a deeper team. So I trying to see if it's still something that they might give a better timeline tomorrow or the following day. So
don't keep your hopes up. I doubt it will happen. But for Trae Young owners' sake, let's hope that he comes back soon. They won't give a better diagnosis. It's grade 2 sprain, and the swelling has to come down. Swelling will take a week. It will take a week. We have had sprains before. It will take a week. So after that, you expect one more week maybe of, the best case is he can walk and run and do stuff. So just doesn't look good, in my opinion.
Yeah. So yeah.
Other people were like, oh yes, Woj said it's better than expected. It's better than expected in the sense that he's not gonna miss the playoffs. That's the thing. He's gonna be ready for the playoffs. So, but it doesn't. He's not. Woj is not thinking of fantasy, of course. I mean, he's not thinking of fantasy relevance.
So there, Trae Young could be most likely. Just drop him. Don't follow me. Just drop him. I just didn't drop him because I was still saving my moves.
If you have IL, keep him. But if you don't, you can drop Red.
I'm still waiting to see if KPJ would be removed from IL anytime soon, but probably that won't happen soon. And I'm preserving my moves as well. So if I drop him, I probably need to add another player. So that's the reason why I haven't really dropped him yet, because there's really no player to add. So there, Trae Young. Another injury happened today. I'm not sure how serious it is, but the fragile body of Kristaps Porzingis. Well, in fairness to him, this year has been, not too bad.
He started. In relatively, although you have to include the start of the season where he
missed time.
He missed time.
He missed 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks, I guess.
The funny thing is, he started to play back-to-backs just recently, and maybe if you look at it, maybe he should not have played back-to-backs. I mean, for Porzingis owner, I'm so happy he plays back-to-back already. Then this happens. So
what's the injury? It's a sprain. Is it a sprain?
It's a sprain. It's a sprained ankle, and at first it didn't look that bad, but I don't know. He was not in a walking boot after the game, but I would assume he's gonna miss some time. That's what I think.
They will probably be more cautious with him, considering his injury history. At the same time, they're fighting for that playoff spot, and they might, if they make it, they want him there most likely. So, yep.
I'm actually watching it right now again. He did not step on anybody's foot. He just bent it really badly. Mm-hmm. Actually, bent it really badly, but on his own. And
just a bad fall, I guess.
Yes.
Was he running? Or
no, he was trying to get the rebound. And then,
right. Just a bad.
I changed my mind. It didn't look good. It doesn't look good. So, I think he's gonna miss some time.
So for a player like Kristaps, really not surprising, I guess. People even expected things like these to happen, but hopefully it's not as bad, or it's not season ending at least.
Yes, possibly it's not season
so
ending.
So what to do with Kristaps? Wait for diagnosis, because it might look bad, but it could be a little better than that. How it happened. But players to add, Kleber.
Okay, it looked. Kleber is also injured, by the way.
He was out. He was out today.
It looked bad, but it's not as bad as Trae's. It was a full twist, but he was not grimacing in too much pain. He could walk it off. So this is not possibly not a season ender. But Kleber is injured, as I said, and I think Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, Willie Cauley-Stein played today. He might be the beneficiary of this injury. If you need rebounding and maybe some blocks or some steals for a center.
And what is really interesting was finding out that Willie Cauley-Stein was not COVID positive but was put into protocol for 12 days. So that is something interesting. That we thought that if they're out for 2 weeks they're positive, but I guess not. But the good news is he was able to keep his conditioning, and he's played well today. He played 31 minutes.
Yeah. So he was on COVID protocol?
Yeah.
Before
for
this
12
game?
days. No, before this game, yes. Before this game. And he clarified that he was not tested positive. I don't know why. Maybe the exposure was, I don't know. But he said he was not positive, and he just stayed isolated for 12 days. And he was able to do conditionings and everything. That's why he got 31 minutes today. and he played well. Dwight Powell is the one who's starting, but it's not been playing well. So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna guess between them, I'm gonna go Willie Cauley-Stein. But Dorian Finney-Smith, if you're holding him right now, do not drop him anymore. Please do not drop him anymore. I've read questions. Should I drop Dorian Finney-Smith or this person, this or this? I think you should hold on to DFS, especially with 5 games coming up next week. It's the end of the week anyways, and we're gonna start a new week where he's gonna be popular with 5 games.
Yep.
And no Kristaps.
And without Kristaps, yes.
Yeah. So he's
he has
a
been
good ad.
he has been quite good even before today. I mean, before the injury, he has been hitting threes, doing a little bit of everything. But yeah, he should get more usage.
Yeah.
After this injury. All right, returning, we have some.
I'll add one more guy, Josh Richardson. Yes, he's not the center, but if Kristaps would have to miss time, then Josh can also
the usage. Not really
and
the position replacement, but the usage.
And Luka also has some ankle issue right now. He had an ankle issue in this game, but he played through it. So just something to monitor. I think Josh Richardson can be added also, especially next week.
All right. So Dallas has 5-game week.
Yeah.
With OKC and Toronto. Those 3 teams. So if you are preparing for next week, those are the teams that you should. By now, you should be. You can start preparing for next week.
Should be, unless you're like me. We're in the middle of a very, very tough matchup.
Yep. Unless you're in the quarterfinals, where you're in the tough matchup at the moment. So.
Still down, but still fighting. Fighting.
So there are some updates on player injuries. Robert Williams should be back soon.
He could be back this Monday, Manila time. So the last day of the week, this week, he should be back. I hope he doesn't, because my opponent has him, and I'm just down by 2 blocks. And if he plays, I'm dead. But I think he can
you'll
play.
Never know. Like I said, blocks is a stat wherein luck can play a big role in it, similar to steals. Right? All year long, I've been really good in steals, but the past 2 weeks, that one team has been really bad. Like Derek White has just had 1 steal in the past few games. He's probably had more blocks than steals, which I don't really need right now.
That's correct. It's funny when I look at my matchup this week. I just share this. My opponent had Christian Wood. Yes, Robert Williams, Moses Brown. Yes, Chris Boucher. So I'm thinking, well, I don't have any blockers, so I'm not gonna fight that. But he has only 5 blocks, and I have only 3 blocks this week, and
right?
we're already Saturday.
And it's been so some of my teams started playoffs last week, and I've already noticed that, like last week, right? When we were talking, I was trying to get the steals, to win the steals, and Eric was saying you should win the steals because I have had Chris Paul, I have TJ McConnell, I have Terry Rozier there, I have PJ Washington, players who can steal the ball. But I lost that matchup and won the blocks because I loaded my team with centers. So really, steals, blocks, if you can keep it close. We've been saying it for the past how many days, but steals, blocks, field goal, free throw, and turnovers. Those 5 stats, keep those close and you have a chance because anything can happen. Maybe your point guard wins you a steal, the blocks, right? Maybe Steph Curry suddenly gives you 2 blocks. That's a possibility as well. So
there's possibility, that's true. And Chris Paul gave me 2 blocks this week.
Yeah.
So
see?
you know,
you won't really know. Sometimes your guards gives you more blocks. Like Derek White gave me 3 blocks, although he's been known to be a good shot blocker as a point guard, but he had 3 blocks today. He probably had more than PJ Washington or other players who are known for their blocks. So it's a stat. Those are stats that you can really.
That is why being a smart manager means that you don't give up, even if you have 3 or 4 superstar injuries. That you just have to get the field goal, free throw, and turnovers, and then this too, as Jeremy said, could be luck. There's
Yep.
luck involved. So
And I have this one league in the semis right now, and it's pretty much four stats are for me clearly already. Four stats are for him.
mhm.
But right now he is leading by 5 steals.
Okay.
So there's still this slim chance that I might catch that up because I what I did was I have Jimmy Butler.
Mhm.
I kept Melton just in case he decides to perform.
No, don't perform, please. Please don't perform.
He might give me a steal or two. And then I added some guards there to hopefully give me some steals. And in that team, I don't have, like I said, that was the team that didn't have Richaun Holmes. I don't have Kawhi anymore. And then Tobias didn't play before today. And he didn't give me a steal today. So still, I'm still within reach. In 3 days, I think 5 steals is still possible. And
Yes,
that's the
yes.
only thing that I'm hoping for. If I beat that, then I'll probably feel good even if I lose in the finals. Because no Kawhi, no Richaun Holmes, I survived 2 weeks without them. So, yeah, keep it close, guys, and don't give up. All right, Richaun Holmes. Speaking of Richaun Holmes, could be back next week.
Could be back next week, and Marvin Bagley will be together with him coming back. That's why I said Hassan Whiteside can be dropped. And we've got a question: what do we think of Bagley when he comes back? I think what we got before, basically, the setup will probably be the same. I think Bagley will be
he'll start and
power
then
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 12 points, probably 7 rebounds. That's good. I mean, that's not bad.
He'll
But,
probably be rosterable, but in a playoffs, he'll probably be, borderline rosterable to streamer.
yeah. Borderline. Correct. That's
In
exactly
a regular
how it is.
season, you'll probably hold him, but in a playoff situation, especially if you're in the semis or much more if you're in the finals, you'll probably be just streaming him. But in the semis, he'll be probably borderline rosterable.
Yeah.
Depending on the schedule and the matchups and the stats you need, those will be the factors there. All right. Rest. Let's talk about some rest. Spurs rested some players. DeMar. Who did they rest today? Patty Mills, DeMar.
DeMar played. Patty Mills.
No,
and
DeMar
DeJounte.
didn't play. I have DeMar. DeJounte.
DeMar didn't play.
Yeah, DeMar didn't play.
Oh yeah. DeMar didn't play. So DeMar, DeJounte, and Patty Mills.
Yep. Didn't
So
play.
So
the
as I
next
said,
game they might play.
Yeah. And
And-
Derek White, Hotel might not play.
So
Or Keldon. Keldon had a minor injury thing. Oh, actually, it was not a minor injury thing. It was a Paul Pierce moment. He went to the bathroom. It was
really.
Yeah, because I have a Twitter account that follows people who go to the locker room and said, "Oh, this guy goes to the locker room. This guy goes to the locker room." So when I saw he went to the locker room, I said, "Oh, he got injured." And he went back in and he was tucking his shirt and something. And so I said, "It's not
Could be a
injury
Paul
related."
Pierce moment.
But I think he could be rested. We don't know right now. It's kind of crazy, and of course, will San Antonio just let others rest without them doing it, because they were the ones who started all these things before, right?
Yep.
So if you're owning any of those players, you're not safe. So you have to double check every day.
I have DeRozan today. Didn't play.
Too bad.
But you don't drop players like these. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be a challenge, I guess, for owners of any of the Spurs or any of the players who are resting.
The bad news
but
is in
yeah.
San Antonio, you don't have much really to pick up. I don't trust if
Yeah.
Patty Mills plays.
Lonnie
I don't trust
Walker,
Patty
maybe.
Mills. Yeah, maybe Lonnie Walker. Yeah, maybe Lonnie Walker or Drew Eubanks. I mean,
Yeah.
those two. But a must add, nobody. So we'll just have to hope that they don't do this
I think if
more often.
they'll do this alternating rest thing, wherein 3 players rest and then in the next game the other 3 would rest, then it would be nice if you have like a DeRozan and Derek White in one team.
Yeah. Unless
right?
they
So
unless they rest them together.
yeah,
Which
unless
is
they rest
very
them
possible.
together, which is the big. But I don't think they'll do that in the next game, I guess, because they just rested the half, so maybe they'll rest the other half.
Oh, that's a problem because Popovich doesn't follow any pattern. If I mean, as I said,
It's a when I feel like it.
yes,
Thing.
and as I said, Detroit, their opponent, at least they give us pattern. They give us a pattern of what they do. I think, I'm just guessing. If it's San Antonio, it's more of the opponent than whether it's a back-to-back. Like Detroit, I mean, they knew they could easily beat them. And the problem is, if you look at the good thing is, if you look at the schedule of San Antonio, they won't have much of these games left. Much of the Detroits or the other bad matchups, they have actually a tough schedule coming up. So I think these players might play if that is the case, right?
And it's also a tough situation considering that you don't know if they are fighting for that playoff spot or not anymore. So it's like the earlier version of Toronto wherein you really don't know if are they resting just because they're kind of tanking, or are they resting because they really wanted to rest their players. So those are the things that or they might be preparing for the tougher schedule, which is which is very important, especially if they're going up against teams in the West or in their batting positions with. So we don't know, but hopefully it won't be too much rest.
Yes.
Not too much rest. One game that we can take that, I guess. Everyone would probably have that one game rest anyway for a lot of teams. All right, so there the Spurs. Lou Dort, we are still resting.
Did you see what Yahoo put up in the Lou Dort blurb? They put up a Lou Dort tank fail, Cade Cunningham. That's the reason. This is really Yahoo.
Okay, I saw that already.
Yeah,
Yes.
the tanking fail and then Cade Cunningham. It's so irritating because Lou Dort is not even somebody who should be resting.
And he is not even old.
He's not old. He's not Kevin Durant. He's not Kyrie.
He doesn't have an injury.
He shouldn't be resting. And I don't know if it's a real injury or not. But what I would do if you're still holding him right now is wait for tomorrow if he plays. If he doesn't play tomorrow, you drop him. But actually, even if he plays tomorrow, I'll drop him because I think he'll be a Jeremy Grant situation, which Jeremy didn't play again today, right? So I think it's going to be an every other day situation for Lou Dort. He's going to play that way. They're going to treat him that way, similar to Jeremy Grant. So I'm okay with dropping Lou Dort in that sense. After tomorrow, you can drop him.
He's actually been, added, dropped. For throughout the
just
season.
Irritating. Just something so irritating. And a lot of people are saying, should I drop? I said, just drop him.
Yep.
I mean, right.
You can move on and find other players that can fulfill his role or get the stats for you. All right, let's talk about some duds. PJ Washington, we talked about him. He is a dud. He played just 16 minutes today, 15, I guess. I don't know what happened or what's happening. It might be a matchup issue, but he played really well last time out. So I guess we'll take it. You won't drop PJ Washington.
No, I won't drop PJ Washington.
Right,
but again, another irritating thing. Why would he come off the bench while Vernon Carey...
Well, he came off the bench last time.
Yes, but 13 minutes. And I don't know. But for me, it was probably an off night.
Is Miles playing starter?
Yes, Miles is the starter. And then
maybe that's the reason. Miles, I guess throughout the season when PJ is starting, Miles comes off the bench. Now Miles is starting, so they probably just decided to move PJ Washington to the bench.
But why are they playing Vernon Carey? They're not tanking. Vernon Carey has not played for the whole year, and then the last 2 weeks or 1 week, he suddenly came off nowhere.
They have some fouls to give.
No, I mean, they usually... Okay, if you're gonna say Cody Zeller will start, okay. Bismack Biyombo, okay. But Vernon Carey over everybody else, and he only plays 4 minutes, 8 minutes. Today, 15 minutes, the most already that he stayed on court because he's so terrible. And I don't know. I just don't understand. I mean,
Well,
they're number 9. They're not number 14 or 15. Even if they want to tank, they're too far away. Right?
yeah.
They're too far away. So anyway,
Yep. So
a
yep,
dud of the night. He killed me in daily fantasy, and
the dud comes with a lot of personal ill feelings from
and I
Kuwait.
own him. I own him in a lot of my leagues, and then he killed me in daily fantasy. And they're against Chicago, a team that usually gives up a lot of points to big men. So just terrible. But anyway, I feel it's just a blip. He's gonna come back better. So
He's had some, throughout the season he's had some setback, or maybe some games like these.
But there are managers who will drop him. There are managers who will drop him. So pick
there
him
will
up.
be, yeah.
Yes, there will be
another
100%.
another bad game like this, especially if you're in the quarters. I would think some managers would probably drop him, especially if you're catching up.
Some have. So I think you can pick him up.
Yep, definitely. I'll be waiting. I have a league still wherein I'm number 1 in waiver. I think that might come in handy in the finals if I make it there. All right, and let's talk about some studs. It's a short quickie, so we'll have time to talk about some studs. Kemba Walker, like I said, played well, helped me out today, and compensated the loss of Trae Young for me.
Jaylen Brown's shoulder is something to monitor because it's a injury that might take some time to heal. So if that happens, then Kemba would be benefiting. But the problem with Kemba next week, I don't know what's your playoff schedule where you have Kemba, Jeremy, but
he has start of playoffs next week.
Yeah, so next week he has a back-to-back. So instead of 4 games, you'll have 3 games. So if he's the start of your playoff, then week 20 will be your finals.
Yep.
In the finals week, Boston has 4 games but 2 sets of back-to-back. So Kemba might miss 2 of those. So he will only have 2 games in the last week. So you have to prepare for those situations.
Only
but
if
he's
I
playing
make it
well.
to the finals. Only if I make it to the finals. It's gonna be
Of course
hard to
make it to the finals.
It's hard to make it to the finals if I have Trae Young. I lost Trae Young. I lost LeBron.
No,
I lost.
You can do it. So I trust you.
We'll see.
It's FBW League.
Hopefully, I get up there the ranks because the top teams are really strong. So, not to disrespect the bottom teams, but they're the top teams guys, for something.
This is the FBW sponsored, not sponsored, organized league. So Jeremy has to win one of them. If he doesn't, because I'm out in that league. I suck. So Jeremy is carrying the flag for FBW, and
at least I'm competing here in this.
He has to win in one of those 3 leagues.
No, my first goal is to make it in all leagues, make it to the playoffs at least. That's the least.
Well, that's your goal, but for all.
That's my first goal. That's my first goal. Once I'm there, of course, we want to win the league.
No, the whole FBW community that's come here, 800 strong, will want to see. We will follow you. We will follow you in the playoffs of the FBW leagues. When it starts, guys, we'll be following Jeremy, how he does.
We'll be sharing some stories here.
Yes. And he has to win. If he loses, the Kevin Love situation is now.
I don't know. There have been. I've been
the
checking.
bet is off.
I've been checking some of the teams, especially in the paid league, the Superstars League.
Yeah.
Some of the top teams have lost really big players. Like I think, the number 1 team right now just lost Kristaps to an injury. Capella's injured, so we don't know what happens there. It's and then one team lost Kawhi this week. He'll probably get them back next week. He had Hayward. I'm not sure why he's still holding on to Hayward and Oladipo, but a lot of injuries as well from the top teams there. So again, if you are in the bottom teams, these are the things that that can give you some chance in winning, right? So yeah, that's Kemba Walker. Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, it's been so hot. Brandon Ingram has been so hot. And the good thing with Brandon Ingram is the assists have come back.
Mm-hmm.
The assists have come back with Brandon Ingram. And New Orleans is closing in the 10th spot. So, or are they 10th? Somewhere there. And they want it, while San Antonio doesn't want it. So I think Ingram would be a good final 3 weeks player.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram. Yeah.
Yep. So
And
today he had
they
29 and 6.
Yeah.
29 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. And the good thing about Ingram is that although sometimes he doesn't shoot the ball as well, but when he's hot, he shoots the ball very well.
And they have 4-4-4 games the next 3 weeks. So he's going to be valuable.
And also he's a really good free throw shooter at that. So that's a big help as well in your free throw category. And the last, I saved probably one of the best for the last, Chris Paul. When all the old guys and the young guys are resting, I'm not trying to jinx it, but yep, Chris Paul is still playing.
Until when? That's the question. My question is, will he be there in week 20? Will he be there in week 19? In a sense that, will he start to rest? Because there will be a lot of back-to-backs coming up for Phoenix. And they won't have any more rest. They have had 4 games the past 3 weeks. And they will have 4 games the next 3 weeks. So they will have full schedule the rest of the way. So if he plays them out, he's going to be a fantasy game changer. If he plays them out. If they're looking for that number 2 seed, they might play. Something to look forward to. If the Lakers fall to 7, Phoenix might not want to be number 2. So this is very, very, very.
Yeah, seedings are even though they don't say it out loud, they matter. And some of the old players have already confirmed that they look at the matchups.
And this matters. Why? Because you have to look at what happens with the Lakers in regards to Chris Paul. Because if the Lakers continue to lose, the Suns will want to lose. But if the Lakers win and has that distance with Dallas, which is number 6, then or number 7, they'll be more comfortable letting, they would want to be number 2. They won't want to be number 3 because they don't want to play the Lakers, who are 6th.
Yep.
So that's the
imagine
only
if
hope.
the Lakers are 6 and the Clippers are 3.
Which is possible, which is what will happen. Exactly what will happen.
And I think at this point, I think the top 3 is pretty much set unless
Yes.
Unless they start to lose or lose some players and they start losing, but they're pretty much set. The top 3 there are pretty much set moving forward. So yeah, but Chris Paul has been a stud through all season, and he's continuing. He has some timely great games like today. He has had a great game, scoring games. But really the assist, the efficiency is always there. The defense is always there. He had 4 turnovers today, which is very un-Chris Paul-like. But yeah, you'll take the good, the bad from time to time.
Yes.
So, and I think he'll be. You were asking what type of year-end award should Chris Paul have? Probably he'll be the most unrested old guy among the old guys there. It's probably one of the, well, I don't want to use the term, so let's skip. One of the most the D word that we've always been talking about.
Yeah. One of the most D guys. Let's not mention that. But Tobias came back.
Yeah,
Tobias came back. So I mean, even if he got injured, it was fast.
Yeah,
so I'll take that.
So Chris Paul definitely a stud, and he is number 6 right now in the rankings, Yahoo rankings. Really good. So Chris Paul and Terry Rozier.
Yeah, both of them.
You know why? I've always, when I see Terry Rozier, because I have Terry Rozier in one league, I can't help but think how good he has been this year. Like, he is top 16, I think, right now.
Yes.
And whenever I look at that, I remember the discussion we had about Chris Paul and Terry Rozier. Many people would say it's not even close, but it's close. The way Terry Rozier has been playing, without LaMelo, without Hayward, he's been good. The assists are higher, the percentages are good, the turnovers are not too high. He has been really good this year, and I think if you have Terry Rozier in your lineup, he should be doing you well by this time. All right, so yep, that's it, guys, for Daily Fantasy Quickie. Just chill, Quickie. Not to what? How should I say this? Not too
intense.
Chill, relax. Not too intense. Yeah, perfect word. Not too intense. Unlike the past few quickies.
I'm sure you guys are pressured already with your playoffs, so let's just keep it light. Let's just chill. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. I know there have been some. I guess there's been some messages coming in every day in our Facebook page. We'll get to you guys. We're trying to get to everyone.
Last 3 weeks, seeing our faces.
Last 3 weeks.
Seeing our face. Yeah.
All right, that's it for Daily Fantasy Quickie. We'll see you again tomorrow for another Daily Fantasy Quickie. Bye, guys.
Bye.